Yeah, that stuff's nothing. Oh no, dude. Unbelievable. Yo, Jess, happy Friday. How are you? Actually, Saturday here. Oh, okay. Doing good. Got myself some Pavlov VR since it was on sale. And yeah, what's Pavlov VR? Base Counter-Strike, but oh, all right, interesting. Okay, gotcha. Damn, that sounds intense. All right, so have you been enjoying it? Ow. Oh, nice. How is it like resolution wise? Is it something where you can see the individual pixels? Or does it actually look really good? Like at least 720p or even 1080? if not 4K or 2K. I can see the pixels, but if anti-aliasing is on, then it's really hard to tell. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. So it's a decent enough resolution that you have to be like looking for it. Oh yeah, that's a good resolution. Okay. My last experience with anything VR was when I had one of the Samsung VR sets that they would give you with the phones if you had pre-ordered them or some shit, whatever. I got one of those one time and I was like, oh, this is really neat. But the quality wasn't there. And I'm a big quality person when it comes to audio and video. So it didn't retain my interest all that much. You have to keep in mind that these pixels are close to the eyes. Yeah. Oh, is that so? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, right? That makes sense. Right? As long as there's an actual use case, like a material use case for it, then it works. It's good. Usually, or most commonly, as far as I know, 8K like is all but pointless for like home application, but really useful when filming because it allows for crops that are still in full resolution if you don't want to use full frame on everything you shoot. I mean, of course, the higher res, the better, but there's the time when you need to say, okay, that's an overkill. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I honestly think, unless you're using it like a 10-foot projector, right? Like a 120-inch projector, I don't think 8K is necessary. Like on a 75-inch TV, for example, you cannot tell, and if you're telling me you can, I'm willing to call bullshit. Now, I will caveat that by saying people did say the same thing about 10K to 1080 to 4K. And they thought, oh, you can't tell. And anyone who says they can is full of shit. And before I got one, I was inclined to believe them. And then I got a 4K TV and I was like, nah, your eyes suck. I can absolutely see a massive difference in quality jump between 1080 and 4K. You're right, yeah. I mean, supposing you're within the appropriate confines, of course, yeah. So what are you going to be doing this evening? Oh, this my evening. Probably just chill, take a bath, and go to sleep. Okay. Wait, what time is it where you are? Oh, yeah, that's right. So you're later. Right. No, yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah. I knew what you meant. I'm not one of those people that is illiterate when it comes to military time. So, don't worry. Well, I am basically just gonna hang out and chat with you till more people come in. Now, that's right. I need to open DaVinci Resolve back up and finalize this fucking first TikTok of mine. TikTok /hover /IG /YouTube Shorts /something else, because there are too many fucking social media platforms. All right, let's see if this actually... Oh, hey, we're getting something. Hold on, I'm looking for clipping on my audio. Okay, I think this is good. Hmm. Online school ended today. Well, nice. Hey, good stuff. No more of that shit. What do I call this? Fucking owned by kid vid, huh? Let's do that. Owned by kid vid. Render all. Start rendering, baby. Oh, this is not going to take very long. Nice. It's done. That was so fast. Verify. Who's there? Oh, shit. I gave it away. All right, forget. Cut. And action. Who's there? Hawaii who? I'm good. Hawaii you. Bravo! I am fantastic. Especially after that sweet joke. Hey. Say hi to Darify. Yes. Do the thing, show some manners. Huh? Watch this even. Watch this. I don't know if anything will come of this at the moment, and I'm sorry if not, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Boom! Oh. Never mind. My bad. Ready to party tomorrow? Oh, I'm ready to party, Mr. Krabs. Are you ready to party? All right. Well, shit. Now all I got to do is actually upload the vids. What is this? Are you ready to party? Okay. So, here's the deal. I'm gonna... Oh, God. Stop. Oh, you can't hear that. Ha, 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 ha. That's okay. Let me see. My TikTok has not been working since I created it, and I don't understand what's going on. So, to elaborate, I can't follow people back. Like, I actually tap the follow back or the follow, and it, like, the button changes. It says following or send message, but as soon as I, like, go to a different page, come back, it's gone. I'm not, it doesn't actually follow anyone. I'm gonna go on and take a bath now. See you in a bit. Sounds good, Jess. Have yourself a good bath. So I need to go to this and then upload video. Okay. Uploading. How do we get more action-packed than this? Jesus, even uploading fast is great. Okay. What is Duet and Stitch on TikTok? Does anyone know? No issues detected. Oh, that worked out. Music, like, wait, no, it's still going. Boy, I turned it down. Oh my god. See if that did anything at all. Profile. I want to try for it. Nice. Yep. Okay, that worked. Bro, this is really fucking annoying. Let's try. Okay, well. Now, why can I? So I can actually follow on the computer. How do I look at what the fuck, dude? Shut up. Why does it say, bro? TikTok's trash. Oh my god, it's gonna make me do this the hard way? Really, dude? Well, I suppose we at least got there. I had to do it on the computer. It still won't work on the phone. Oh shit. I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay. What? Hover's limited to 60 seconds? Oh man, that's dumb. That's dumb. Alright, whatever. How long is it anyways? Nah. Nah. Try YouTube. What? There we go. Okay. Oof. I was gonna say. All right. How do you upload shorts? Shit. Right? Shit. So many redundant pages. What is happening? Damn it, dude. Hmm. Oof. Doing. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
half HP, bro. Oh, she got killed.
I feel like we need to pop just like a little bit earlier there. Like I thought we were going in 30 seconds. Like we gotta make a commitment instead of sitting and playing.
I can buy. Needs what? Need a drop.
Alright, I can buy.
Try that solo play. We drone sight and all. And then we all play behind him and protect him for a second. But you can play this really slow because they rotate really fast.
No, ask for sell. Sell no process.
Don't make any noise, I mean.
Standing ahead.
Get out of my way.
That's top cat. She's playing cubby. I'll peek this, I'll peek this.
Have this spike.
Spike down A.
Spike drop.
I'm out of here. I have the spike.
I can ult. We can go B and I can ult. Or go A and I can ult. It's up to you guys. Depends on where we get util down.
Go, go, go.
Two cover.
The enemy's mid.
There's two mid.
Sage is close.
They will cover.
Close, right?
Right there, right there.
Oh, fuck. Heaven. Sage hit 110, Heaven. That fucking stun, dude.
How's that a mate?
Two door.
Two outdoor. One heaven.
One Heaven.
Last player standing.
Why did you stun Heaven? That doesn't make any sense.
Just on the top. Why are you just jumping up when they're sitting there?
Because they weren't sitting right there. It was flash too.
Now it's definitely
Oh. Damn it.
Switching sides. Overtime.
I'm out of here.
You called it a comeback,
I'm
Dan.
out of here.
For real. Don't call it a comeback. Oh, that sucks. Viper, did you call it a comeback? Oh no, Viper, you might be the one who's getting banned.
What the fuck?
You said it over voice chat. I heard you on your own stream.
No. The glass cannon off is the play.
No LMAO. I don't know, man. You're looking pretty sussy over there in your comeback
Glass
corner.
cannon chamber. Use glass cannon chamber. Each top mid. Pushing up cat.
We're gonna go mid, I think. Nice shot.
Yeah, let's play chill now. Let's play chill.
Oh, chamber. Chamber walk out. Tiles. Wait, chamber
Sussy
doesn't
backer.
hold that.
Astra smoke. Top mid. By our spawn. I'm just holding mid. Tree.
Cat.
Cutting their vision.
Oh, one broke my
Going
flash mid.
too.
Up mid.
Caution.
Through market. Let you get that, Silva.
Watching here.
30 seconds left.
Jet CT hit 74.
I hear it further to the left, dude.
Nice. Nice. Let's go.
What are they, dude? They're
Um,
playing crazy, bro. What the fuck was that?
I hit Astra and
Switching
This
sides.
world hurt me.
Match
It's
point.
mine,
Like how?
and I will kill to defend it.
I don't know, man. Your
What'd
shit's
you do?
lagging,
Huh?
bro. Yo, this might sound crazy, but I feel like on our offense we should just fucking raw dog them. Just rush.
No, just smoke everything. They can't kill us. Smokes.
Yeah, 5 seconds left.
Market, CT.
Smoking here, here.
We will.
GG.
That's it.
No, you can't say that. It's too early. Like,
I'll water inside the clogs and market.
Oh, we're suckied.
Yeah, I think so.
So do we get out of that?
Spike down B.
I'm getting killed from market.
Enemy spotted.
One's market. Not market, that little boy.
Well, I just walked out of market.
They did one.
Oh, come on.
Obscuring vision.
He's head peeking the wall.
Blasting them. Reloading. I have the spike. Reloading.
We're getting flanked or what's going on?
It's ours. Nice. Nice.
You're welcome. Go, go, go.
15 HP, I'm gonna run out, baby.
Well divided. Go, go, go.
It's a really bad ult, but I don't
30
think-
seconds left.
Oh no, I'm dead.
2v2, you got this.
Spike planted.
Stairs. Reyna.
Enemy B.
One
Good way.
enemy remaining.
Oh, I didn't know you could shoot those.
Reload.
Last player standing.
No!
What are you doing? You have 12 bullets.
How do I get assists on all these? Bro, Astra double headshot 121. Sage body shot 119. Chamber
For
160.
real.
Switching sides.
I jinxed you, I'm sorry.
No,
You
please
did,
don't
Viper.
draw. Why would you draw? We're better than these kids.
For
I
real.
don't know how I
You
didn't get
had
killed.
15 bullets in your Vandal and you kept switching to your
Release
pistol.
the tension.
Dude, you should've given me
He had
better
4
back
bullets.
shooting.
Bro, Vandal's trash. Astra double headshot for 121. 119
Walls
on Sage,
exist.
160 on Chamber. I don't know how I hit the Chamber 160 4 times.
Alright, Viper, if we lose this game, you owe me 5 subs. I also lost top frag. The Jet match MVPs now.
Hot A1 tiles.
Okay, okay.
Fuck, I'm confident.
They're shooting.
Parasite.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Wow.
Excuse me?
Wow. I thought we were trolling. They were
Switching
trolling.
sides. Match point.
That might have been the worst organized thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Reyna like slow walked up B, made no noise, and still whiffed every bullet, and shot first. She's
Yeah,
terrible.
I think Astra is kind of a cringe character. I'm not gonna lie. Like the shit kind of. I don't know.
No, Steve,
She's the only
Steve.
one.
Thank you.
Totally. She's too good compared to the others.
We're gonna reverse psychology us, Viper. I'm even more nervous. Sage mid. One cubby.
Don't
I
peek
don't want
that.
to be here. I don't want to be here. I die on B every time.
I'm not picking that.
I haven't made any noise here yet.
He made Jet's top cat. Jet's top cat doing some weird shit.
Reyna has an op. Hey main, going tree. The op is here. I think we should rotate. We have a lot of time.
Wait, they just took their Astra stars back B.
Yeah, that's where we go. That's where we go. I have 2 flashes, so you can wait for me.
Yeah,
It's not
kinda
mid.
chilling.
I got market.
Yeah, we're already in.
Blocking
Oh
vision.
fuck yeah, just go. Reyna has up.
Obscuring vision. Covering it.
She was I mean,
I'm retarded.
yeah, me too. I just got
11
double
HP.
slowed. One mid.
Feeling sight.
One enemy remaining.
Good game, bro. Let's go.
That
Attackers
took way
win.
too long.
Yo, Neon's cracked.
Give me match MVP, please. Holy fuck.
Did get it. Stole it from me. What did you end with? You had like 22
28.
kills at the half.
I did match MVP. Let's go. Let's go. GG for real this time. Thank you, Viper. Thank you for sticking through. That was one of my better games. All it took was me playing Duelist. Because I went 8, 16, and 12 with Sova. 28, 21, and 8 is right now. Dude, I hit some nutty shots that game. Just in the beginning, I was just one-tapping everybody. I went like I think went 4 rounds in a row without dying, just hitting headshots. 7-1 against their Astra.
Their Astra should have killed me. No reason I should have lived when I ran through market. I threw my wall up like over the mid walls, just sprinted into market while getting sprayed at. I peek CT, and the Astra's just still sitting in that corner. She always sits on a boathouse and just doesn't start shooting at me.
What a gamer.
Like, I come out of market just looking at CT, and she just doesn't manage to kill me. Ooh, shop reset? Oh my god.
What's my shop looking like?
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Wait, low key, I actually have a decent one.
Low key, the only thing decent in mine is a Sovereign Guardian, and who's buying that? Unless I want the Smite Classic.
I got the Infantry Guardian. I got the Talking Spectre. I got the Origin Op again. It's actually the 3rd time in a row. And the Forsaken Classic. Yeah, the military Ares, that's what I have.
When the Sentinel's a light out.
I tried to type sheesh and it autocorrected to sussy, so I just kept it. Never seen that before. Also, I am starving. Holy crap.
I didn't eat yet either.
I haven't eaten at all today. I get to work this morning. 2 people called out and I'm like, what is this, bro? And then I get slammed. And like the guy that usually like comes in to help me wouldn't answer the phone. So then I'm just like getting screwed. I got stuff going out late and I'm just like, man, what am I supposed to do? 2:30 comes around, he calls me. Hey man, what'd you want this morning? Bro, what'd you think I wanted? Called you at 10 o'clock. What is running through your mind? Judge your options. I was so angry.
I need to find a new buddy for my Sheriff Soccer skin.
What is the velocity, shorty? This thing low-key fire.
Last battle pass?
Oh my god. How far am I in this battle pass? Oh, I'm almost done. I gotta buy this.
I actually finished this one. I haven't finished a battle pass in so long.
I gotta, I'm on performance mode, so I can't... Hold up. Thanks, guys. Thank you for your patience. Dude, I was lagging so bad in the beginning of that game. I don't know why it just stopped randomly at the end.
Brandon getting on, or does he have work till 8?
Brandon is playing Apex. He said he's gonna be on in a minute. And by a minute, I'm gonna assume it means like 10. So after this doesn't pop up, I'm gonna run downstairs. Is the Valorant store broken? Oh, there you go. It's so dark in my room, I don't even know. Do I drop a 50 bomb? Gonna be honest, I don't want to spend $50 on this game. But I want to get the battle pass. Guess I'll just spend the 10. I have no idea what card this is. Hopefully no one in my chat knows either. Oh wait. No, it's not. just get baited.
Got baited.
Oh, I'm gonna restart my game. My GPU getting hot as balls, bro. What is this? Why is it so hot? Now what's wrong? There you go.
It's just frustrating because you like told me that I was naive around abuse, but then you're saying I don't think people maliciously want to harm others.
This is what makes you naive. This is what makes you naive.
No, absolutely not.
Well, this is what my personal opinion is, that the thing that makes you naive is that you run all accusations of abuse through a filter in your brain of like, well, but does the abuser think they're being abusive? When that is the last fucking most irrelevant question you could possibly be asking, and it seems to be the first question you ask, and it's going to make you define some of the most abusive, destructive people on the planet, even Hitler, as like, well, he thought what he was doing is right, so like, why, I don't know. So Dr. K's opinion on Dr. K does not matter. That's why I keep saying I don't want to talk about it any more than Hitler's opinion on Hitler matters. It doesn't matter. I don't care what Hitler thinks of Hitler. Do you?
No, but it's
There's nothing. There's no bearing on my view of whether he's a good person or not.
But you just said that because Hitler thought what he was doing was justified, then his actions aren't malicious. And I said I don't really care if Hitler justified his actions.
Maliciousness is a statement of intent, and I think that malicious is a slur.
Intending harm.
Yes, I think malicious is a slur that applies to almost nobody. It's just a way to discredit somebody, or in this case, give somebody undue credit by saying they're not malicious. Well, almost nobody's malicious. I just don't think it's relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe we'll have to, like, this feels like a weird semantic game, but like, and you maybe don't want to use the word malicious, but I would say it's obvious that Hitler intended to do harm to some, regardless of whether or not, to some extent, like, then yeah.
I already responded to this. Hitler did not believe he was doing harm. You do not have the same definition of harm. And you don't have the same. Well, you just said he intended, so you do care what Hitler thinks for some reason. Why you keep going down this road, I don't know, and I wish you would stop. But since you said it again, I will. Since you said it again, I will respond again.
Justify their actions.
I don't care about what Hitler thinks of Hitler. I don't care what he would think looking back. Hitler does not have the same definition of harm. He does not have the same definition of human. So, what Hitler's intent doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Dr. K does not have the same definition of harm.
As you do.
As me. Or as an ethics board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's obvious that Hitler intended to do harm to Jews, right? Regardless of whether he dehumanized them. He still intended. You'd argue exterminizers intend to do harm, right? Dr. K is obviously intending to benefit basically everyone. That's his goal, including himself.
Yes, I don't care what... okay, do you believe that I don't care what Dr. K intends?
Yes.
Great.
Sort of. But you bring up his intention sometimes, so it's
like when?
Unclear to me.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Like when you outline two situations, you said he's either being ignorantly arrogant, right, or he's being malicious, which is
I don't think I said he's being malicious.
What do you think that you said? He's being
in this conversation? I think he's an abuser. Yes.
Right.
I think most abusers do not think they are abusers.
Yeah,
And Dr. K is no exception. It's normal, totally normal abusive behavior to abuse people and think that you're not being abusive. Convince and charm everybody around you, charm their pants off, make them think that you're not abusive. Absolutely. That's totally standard abusive behavior. It doesn't matter what he thinks. So I don't think I've made much statement on his intent. I think the only thing is that occasionally people say, like, do you think he's trying to be like this? And I'm like, no. Absolutely not. I don't think he wants to hurt anybody.
Right.
I think I said if I were trying to convince somebody to kill themselves, I would do something similar to what he did. But I wasn't trying to say that was his intention. I was trying to say he fucked it up so bad that you almost couldn't, like, do a better job of building up this flimsy foundation for a mentally ill person to climb on top of and then yanking it out from underneath them. It's slightly hyperbolic, but I think he fucked it up real bad. But I was not trying to say that he didn't know. Clearly he wants to make the world a better place. I know that.
Sorry, I thought that you said, like, the promise that he made to him was like a human mistake that anyone can make. Like, and that he didn't own it enough.
Yes. When I say yank the rug out from underneath him, I'm not talking about the moment where he took the promise back. I'm talking about getting Wreckful over the fear of seeking treatment by offering treatment that is not defined as treatment. You can see why he was tempted to do that, because by Wreckful's own admission, that might be the only treatment he would accept. And Dr. K found it unacceptable to just say, like, maybe you can't do anything for this person.
Right.
Or maybe the only thing you can do is try really hard to get him a referral.
Okay. Do you think that the fact that Dr. K has scaled down these, like, live sessions and whatnot is, like, proof of, like, potentially, like, hey, maybe these ethical lines are too many, and I might not be, like, the wisest necessarily, so I'm gonna, like, scale back potential risk of harm?
I think that Dr. K still believes that he could help or save these people, but I believe that most likely his wife
is called subsequent remedial measures, and it is irrelevant.
You know, behind every great man, I'm assuming somebody is telling him, hey,
within the context of
didn't work out.
Any specific event that occurred prior thereto.
People like Mr. Girl and, like, lawyers and
to be clear,
you gotta stop. I assume that's why he scaled it back. And probably it's painful. It's probably really painful to try to help somebody, especially so publicly, and then have them die. I mean, he obviously was really broken up about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's all kinds of reasons he would scale it back. Some are practical, self-protective, and some are... but no, I don't... I still think that he thinks he's above the rules. I just think at this point he is realizing that it's not smart.
Right.
But it's too late.
Do you think that you can... I'm really caught up on this malicious thing. Maybe I should just move on. But, like, do you think that you can do something malicious, but also for a good reason? Or, like, do something not for a good reason, sorry. Do you think you could do something malicious and have that result in benefiting someone?
Yeah, sure. I could, like, break your windshield with a golf club, but it turns out that you needed to replace your windshield anyway, so then you get, like, an insurance payout.
Okay. So going back, right, like, if you can benefit somebody,
you're playing God.
Me?
Yeah, this ends justify the means shit scares me. I don't think it has a place in therapy.
Yeah. Do you mind if you give me, like, a couple seconds to think? Because the malicious stuff, like, the fact that it seemed like we had such a semantic disagreement about it.
I can stop responding to your facial expressions out loud. That's
Okay.
fair. My chat is saying in all caps, call her licensing board. Okay, now I'll stop talking. They're just kidding. I didn't mean for it to be mean. I thought she would know that you were kidding.
Oh, I'm genuinely, I'm just thinking. So to be honest, I'm just
talking
like
about
not
chat.
super closely. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just not
Can you
really
stop
paying
eavesdropping?
attention, excuse you.
This is a private
you're in my,
conversation.
you're in my.
Yo,
my
what's up,
space
Jason?
Right now.
You almost said office, but then you realized that you shouldn't say that. I'm just
You
gonna
done with the
talk-
games or what?
Hey guys. Hi horses. Mr. Girl here. Let her think. I am trying to. The Hitler analogy made no sense. Thank you.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
Angrier, it was more fun. I can't control my feelings.
Aw, rip.
This is a really good talk. Hitler's act of malice was not going to therapy. True. This is a sad attempt to bait Dr. K into an interview. I think once I started saying I think he's breaking the law, I would say it would be very stupid of him to talk to me. I don't think he should do that. Tons of gifted subs. Oh, that's good.
You.
Gifted
I'm
subs.
sure. I think I came in and jinxed the shit out of you.
Oh, Nightbot. Wow, there's a new auto message. Do not
20 kills at
use the
half
word
and 28 at the end after double overtime. Yeah.
harassing people here or on any other.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Man, you guys take this shit.
8 for the second half, including overtime. Yikes.
I endorse it fully. Yeah, don't defend
Yeah.
me. I don't need you to defend
Yep.
me to anybody. I'm like a fucking asshole. So.
Hey, you still pulled out the W, so all is good.
All right. Hi.
Oh hey.
I'm
Sure.
trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out precisely why this analogy is like rubbing me so wrong.
Yeah, I have some theories.
We get
Fair.
those dubs.
They're a little personal.
Hell yeah.
Dr. K didn't abuse Reckful to help it, right? This is just an analogous because Hitler maliciously harmed the Jews with the sole intent of benefiting Aryans.
I don't. Well, in the analogy, Hitler
Right.
is trying to help like people. I guess I'm making a broader analogy of like, are you trying to do good? And Dr. K. So there's one way you could say like, well, Dr. K is willing to sacrifice the streamer for the good of the people, but I don't really think that either. I think Dr. K was trying to.
Man, it is a quiet Friday evening. Tell you what.
But
Right, but you
analogy
can be malicious in order to do good, right? You can intend to do harm to others with the goal of doing good.
I don't think Hitler thought he was doing harm to anyone. Anyone that mattered. Like if somebody
because he dehumanized people.
Well, he also like racist people believe that they're acting defensively. So if somebody like tries to kill me and I shoot them, I'm not being malicious. And I think most racist people believe.
No, you're not wrong. That's okay.
They are threatened by the race that they hate.
You're not wrong.
And it's a defensive action to prevent harm to themselves or their people.
And she's smart
They're
too.
going to
Oh shit.
fight back.
The Wombo combo.
You know, like lynching. It's like we gotta teach y'all a lesson
We're moving kind of quick, Jason.
so that you will stop raping our white women. It's usually I think seen by in our minds the aggressor.
True. Nah, man, she's the one. Yeah. So She is, I mean, she's very smart and self-aware, which I definitely enjoy. I think so far, because I mean, I'm 2.5 hours into this. I watched up to probably about here earlier today while I was at the office, just plugging away, doing a letter. And I still overall, I haven't moved off of the same position that Mr. Girl has with respect to the specific issues with Dr. K and Reckful. It interests me that another professional bound to a code of ethics differs, at least on the face of things. But I think what is interesting about what has sprung outwardly from this whole controversy is that a lot of people are saying that they disagree, but it's more on semantical or sort of pedantic stuff. They don't actually disagree with the issues. They just, I think they're arguing form over substance, like basically all the time. So that aspect of it is interesting. Like, so people will come on and talk to him and, you know, say these things they disagree with, or like that he did that or said that or cut it this way or what have you. And like, they still agree with the sentiment, the whole way through. And then it just becomes like, okay, well, so like, what's your actual beef then? Because if we agree on the point and you understand that that's the point that I'm trying to convey, what are we doing here?
or murderer as an act of defensiveness. So even something as
psychology is heavily debated as it is, since the way it works up is, or the way that it works is up to the therapist's decisions, and there's always going to be two sides to every argument because that's the way they think. Yeah, not all the time though. Yeah, so as far as the agreeing with him but playing devil's advocate, I think she does agree with him. I don't think she's playing devil's advocate, though. I just think that she hasn't fleshed out her response to all of the things that Mr. Girl has been saying and been showing through his content. I don't think she's fleshed out how she feels about all that stuff the way Mr. Girl has. So people come to him and he explains more, and then they go, oh yeah, okay, I understand. As far as like psychology being heavily debated, I think, you know, in a broad sense, you're right, yeah. But like the conduct that Dr. K has engaged in with more people than just Reckful has been obviously in violation of the rules of ethics. I mean, it's like there isn't actually a debate other than I thought I knew better than the ethical rules. And the problem I have with that is that's the whole point of the code of ethics. As I established last stream, to be honest, I completely disagree with content therapy, so all this in general is against my morals. Yep, that's fair. You can have content, life coaching, general stuff, right? If you're just talking to people and saying, look, me to you, right? I'm going to tell you, here's my perspective on these issues. Here's what I think is the right way to do things. I'm just preaching what my values, my ethics, my morals might be. But when you start applying them to specific individuals in a therapeutic sense, if not explicit, implicit at the very least, you're already in the gray area. And then to add into the mix that you're on a public platform with an audience, with donations, with subscriptions and feedback and all that stuff, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah, there isn't a defense. There is not one. And like a lot of people are saying, well, like, you know, do you think he might have violated the rules of ethics specifically in that situation because he thought that situation warranted something different, and like that's okay? I mean, I'd be willing to concede that he may have violated the rules with respect to that specific instance because he thought he was doing the right thing. I would also say that is wrong, and it's stupid. Because again, codes of ethics are shaped by generations of these types of things happening. And ethics boards going, how do we try and minimize how many times this happens? How do we try and mitigate the damage? That's where these rules come from. So for someone to say, you know what, in this specific instance, I think better. No, you don't. No, you don't. And it's just arrogance or even worse, narcissism for you to think that violating the ethical rules is better suited in any given situation, especially without asking the board. Like, consult the board and say, look, hey, I know these are the rules, but here's someone I'm dealing with, and here's what's been going on right now. And something within me feels like there's something I need to try that is a little bit different. And I want to ask the board for the authority to do that. At least you give the higher authority a chance to review what you're dealing with and pair that up with generations worth of experience and make a decision there. But for you to, as a therapist or a counselor, unilaterally make that decision, nope. Nope. One more time. Nope. Don't fucking do that. I feel like what his content should be is post-clientele interviews to show his successes and defeats instead of doing what content therapy BS. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. You know? Oh no, we're just so this is a long conversation, Nick, where someone who disagrees with Mr. Girl's framing of all of these ethical issues that we've been dealing with is having a conversation or argument with Mr. Girl, and Mr. Girl's explaining things to her as, and by the way, she's a therapist. He is not. She's a counselor. He is not. But he's explaining things to her and like explaining his position, and she's pushing back, and it's not particularly compelling, if you ask me. And that, yeah. And what Jason said. I think that would be a good idea, but the problem is, hey, thank you for the follow, C-Note. Hell yeah, brother. Welcome. Yes, we cannot miss out on that particular point. Exactly. Yeah. Very, very attractive. Well, I don't know. Like, she strikes me more as like just like nerdy cute. But anyways, yeah. I've always had a thing for girls with glasses. Yeah, so the glasses will definitely help. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, yeah, it's an interesting thought experiment to go back and forth with these types of things. But it interests me how hard people are pushing back on these things that I as far as I'm concerned, are so obvious. Like the violations of the rules of ethics that Dr. K engaged in are just obvious. You can make separate arguments from there as to how bad is it, what should the punishment be, all that kind of stuff. Fine. But there's no reasonable argument that what he did was like justified. There just isn't. Again, as an individual therapist or counselor, I don't give a shit how many years worth of experience you have. You are bound to the code of ethics. Now, when I say, all right, let's be clear for a second. When I say you are bound to a code of ethics, here's what I mean, all right? When I got my law license, I graduated law school, took the bar and passed it. To go get my license, you had to swear an oath. That is not a conditional oath. You have to swear an oath. I had to swear an oath to abide by the rules of ethics and conduct myself as an officer of the court. There was no asterisk following that oath. There just wasn't one. I have to swear to defend and uphold the Constitution and abide by the rules of ethics and all that. Okay, I don't know what the point of that was. Anyways, you had to swear on D's. Exactly. You fucking trolls. How do you talk about ethics and psychology with 12-year-olds? No, I'm just kidding. What's D's? Yo, good question. You are making fun of me. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Good one. So anyways, you have to specifically and explicitly put your hand up or put it on the Bible or whatever and swear that you will abide by and uphold the Constitution and engage in your practice in compliance with the rules of ethics. There is no asterisk. Do what? I'm leaving? Yo, hey, Jason, don't you bully my new follower right back out, all right? How else am I supposed to get that bread, dude? All this guy does is bully me. Hey, C-Note, all right, I'll take him out back after the stream, all right? I'll take him out. I know. Yeah, we've played together. I know. Yeah, you're welcome, C-Note. I got you, fam. Take him right out back. I'll bend him over my knee, huh? Bend him over my thigh. Give him the 1-2. Jason, you know what's coming. Okay? And I tell you what, I got a firm hand, baby. So anyways. The point is, there is no asterisk. There's a reason there is no asterisk. I can clap loud. I don't think it's anything like spectacular. It's a normal clap as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, that's literally the whole point of what Mr. Girl is trying to highlight to regular people, right? Because most people don't think about these things and don't talk about these things. There is no exception. This is why. So I find it interesting when people disagree in the first place, because it's fun to see where, like, particularly regular people are in how they perceive these types of things, and it's a fun opportunity to sort of shed some light and provide a little bit of knowledge on why these things are so important. Yo, thank you for the nickel. I fucked that up backwards, forward, left, right. Anyways, thanks for the nickel. Nick. Got it. So anyways, yeah, it's fun to see how, quote unquote, and I hate this term, okay? Layman. I hate that term. But like normal people, not in these fields particularly, not particularly studious within these fields, disagree, and it's fun to sort of see how they interpret things and how they absorb the information that's being presented to them. That stuff's kind of fun. I find it a little bit more interesting and concerning when other people who are bound to an incredibly similar, if not identical, code of ethics disagree with the assertions that certain things were ethical violations. And it's fun to sort of examine why they think that way. And I mean, Mr. Girl has been very blunt in that regard, where he says, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm concerned that that reflects on your practice. And so she's had to defend herself a few times by saying, all right, let's take me out of it, even though you really can't, right? How someone, particularly within the field, reacts to something like this, I would argue, is perfectly indicative of how they engage in that field on their own. Now, whether that's a good or bad thing, it really, really depends. And I think overall, she seems really reasonable, very intelligent to me, very calm, cool, and rational. She's been receptive to the things that Mr. Girl has said. So I don't mean this as a slight against her at all, aside from the fact that her initial response to some of the things he has said and some of the issues he has raised has been incorrect as far as I'm concerned and as far as Mr. Girl's concerned. He's wrong too sometimes, by the way, okay? No one's perfect. Well, except for me, okay? Okay? If you take one thing away from this stream, I've never been wrong. Not once, okay? 31 going on 32. Imagine that. What a record. Yes, factual. You can take that to the bank.
It's like obviously
just kidding.
Abusive as a lynching. The people doing it probably don't think of themselves as being abusive through a combination of dehumanization.
This 5-head, dude. Look at this shit.
But if you're intending
Look at all that knowledge.
Even if you think it's for a good purpose,
I ain't never been wrong.
That's still malicious.
Is it malicious if you're an executioner working at a jail?
Anyways, hey, I'm gonna go grab another beer. I'll be right back. Keep watching.
I guess if you're intending to harm them, yeah, a little bit. Not as like there's extent.
Okay, then I think your definition of malicious is like too broad then, because I don't think a hangman is malicious. And I think
a hangman isn't intending harm.
Right, and so a lynch mob isn't either. They think, well, you got away with it. You need to be punished. You need to be held to account. And so it's just like to us, we're just holding a little court. You were found guilty, and your punishment is death. But that the lynch mob believes that the person they're killing deserves to die, and that if they don't die, then more harm will come. I just don't believe that anybody sees themselves in a negative light. Except like the most fucked up people on Earth, and Dr. K is not one of them. Okay. I don't think he's that fucked up.
Probably just need to get off this. I think like getting into semantic battle is like not worth the time. Not worth it because it detracts from the major point, because it's like you don't care about his intent either way, so you don't care if he's malicious or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Not really sure where to even go back to.
Take your time.
Well, I guess where do you want to go back to? Because I we're just going to keep fighting tautologically. So do you basically feel so you're basically
here's
Sure.
Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go.
Wait, what is this about melons? What did I miss? I now own my favorite emote? What? Yo, hell yeah. What happened? What are we talking about? Oh. Wait, did I miss something? Oh, you redeemed channel points for it. Nice. Hell yeah, I'm glad that's your favorite emote. Wait, yeah, so what did I miss? What did I miss Malone-wise? What, do I need to back it up or something? No. Anyways. Okay.
Were telling me what you think I should do. And you're saying part of what you think I should do.
I know what you meant when you said, "Damn the melons," though, Nick. I know what melons are in this context. Okay. Jesus.
Given how I feel, is think about it until I feel differently, which feels like a bit of a sidestep, and I can't control that. So, given how I feel, and without arguing with what I think or predicting or hoping that what
Yes, a cantaloupe is a melon. Yep.
What I think pretty clearly. Now, what do you think I should do?
Okay.
You see the predicament of. I'm not blowing him up. He's bigger than I am.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he's already out there sending messages that I believe are directly harmful to people getting mental health. The exact opposite of what everybody thinks he is doing.
Right. I think you should veil your anger more in what you're putting out there.
Okay. Can you explain why you think I should veil my anger?
It's going right back to like my concern about like trial by media and witch hunting. I think like there's a parasocial relationship with followers. If you are engaging in lots of anger because you have lots of emotions around this, you could incite a lot of people to do a lot of rash, silly things where they jump on the bandwagon, whether they agree or not. And the problem is that these claims can escalate and grow, right? You might be having your reaction, like I said, to how you feel about things is at least it makes sense, right? I disagree about some of the conclusions you've come to, but if I was feeling the same way you were feeling, I wouldn't say that your decision
New TikTok, just saying,
to the medical board is disproportionate based on what you think has happened and transpired.
Make me famous, fam. Come on.
My concern is that your anger is going to give rise to a mob who is going to utilize your anger as fuel. And the problem is that these things are often going to get out of hand, right? They're going to go beyond you. They're going to quickly become out of your control. So the goals of what you want can explode if trial by media engages. And I genuinely think we're at the brink of it, right? You've got another streamer, Chud Logic, who kind of jumped in as well. After seeing your stuff, he probably would have never even thought about Dr. K until after that, right? Mm-hmm. I want you to be able to be yourself, right? And I enjoy that, but the problem is that sometimes the viewers are going to hijack your energy, right? And where they go with it isn't always conscionable, right? Where they go with it might be beyond even what you're asking for, right? What if they, rather than reporting him to the medical board, they start doing things like harassing his family, harassing his kids or his wife, things like that, which is definitely within reason of where this could go. And that's my concern, because we've seen it a ton, right? Like, I mean, I think like most major streamers have experienced some form of harassment where people come after their actual family members.
But
and I think
isn't there usually a person, I obviously I don't want anybody to harass anybody. Isn't there usually but okay, so streamers will say that, but I think that when I say it, people believe that I actually don't want anybody to harass Dr. K.
I don't know if that's true. Because like I said, I was doing my best to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I like you. Even after this this conversation, I really like you. And okay. I still thought you were implying that he's malicious. And you don't care about his intent, but
whether he's malicious or not, do you think that I want people to harass him?
Yeah, you're right.
No,
you harass me all the time, dude.
That's not the point.
Well, but when somebody says, well, don't I disavow anybody harassing Anita Sarkeesian. Do you believe that?
That what?
When streamers tell you not to harass the person they've been haranguing.
Do I believe that? Do I believe them that they don't want people to harass them? Yes. The problem is that like that's not necessarily how trial by media and Lynch like
after Vosh hung up on me, he said Mr. Girl fans need lead therapy.
Yeah.
I believe he wants his fans to harass me and my fans.
Okay.
But
what do you think about that?
I don't think you should say things like that. But if he wants to say, I believe Mr. Girl is unethically talking about Android underwear, blah, 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 whatever he's mad at me about, then like that's fine.
Right.
Damn it.
The issue is that like the mob at some point when it gets to a certain size doesn't care what you want, because especially if you're no longer being the talking piece for them, sometimes people just want to stir shit and they get like caught up on a cause for whatever reason, and it no longer matters what the original like whistleblower
And you think I
that's the
should
whole
try?
issue with
Okay,
Gamergate.
yeah,
Is the
I
boyfriend
fucking,
didn't
I
want
know,
women to
I
be
get, I
harassed.
know,
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You're saying that
So
I
that's
should.
my concern.
You're saying I should compensate for this concern for Dr. K's safety.
I would say
Okay, we
you've
agree.
already
We agree
submitted a
right
medical-
now. Let me fucking finish. We agree right now that I am losing the PR battle. But we both also agree that I might swiftly win it in a sudden reversal sometime in the next like week or two.
It could. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If enough streamers kind of start to get on your side, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna do a test real quick just to make sure it works.
So it's possible that I will suddenly be
Nice. Look at that.
the Goliath here.
I imagine, to be honest, if it just stayed with you leading it, that would be one thing. I
But it
imagine that
probably- it
somebody
prob-
bigger who's willing to say more extreme things than you could co-opt the leadership and then take it
Okay.
in a direction that you never
Well,
wanted it to go.
Okay, okay. And you're saying that I should compensate for the possibility of this by being less emotionally authentic.
I think you should be careful about the decisions you're making of just being rooted in your anger, right?
Do you think
I don't
that
know what you need to do
you're telling me to
more.
be less emotionally authentic?
I'm asking what more do you need to do based on how you're feeling about the situation. You're going to come out
You're
with
not,
a video.
You're not asking that. You're not asking that.
Okay, I'm asking it now. You've already come out with a video. Well, you're coming out with a full form video, right? You haven't released it yet?
Right.
Okay, so you've got that video, right? You've submitted a claim to the medical
This isn't
board.
a question. This is a
So
list.
my question is, what more do you need to do?
I'm happy to tell you.
Okay.
I need to make this video, which is a primer on education, an educational video on.
It it interests me that you said that. So I think he creeps a lot of people out. I also think authenticity, like unfiltered authenticity, of that caliber freaks people out. So I also think part of it is intentional, right? Part of it is his shtick. He'll do these things where he looks right at the camera. And doesn't say anything for stretches of time, right? Yeah. I think for one reason or another, that's just his presentation of how overall contemplative he is. He generally speaks at a very level tone for the sake of maintaining a level demeanor and a level pattern of thought, right? Because sometimes when you get too animated, you get too frustrated or too passionate, and this is actually exactly what she's hitting on right now, not so erudite. By the way, where's the link? Yeah. Here. Twitch.tv/notsoerudite is her, and twitch.tv/Mr. Girl Returns is Mr. Girl.
Therapy ethic.
Okay? Go follow these people. Look up the videos. Go follow them. They're both very smart people. These are my kind of people overall. This is my kind of discussion overall. But yeah, so he creeps a lot of people out in a bunch of different ways, and that's part of why I like him. Because he doesn't creep me out. Anyways.
Ethics.
Okay.
Complete with expert interviews. If anybody agrees to do that.
Oh, also, hey, all right. Just you guys wait.
The rules. Here's how I broke them. Here's why they're important. Then I want to do a video about, maybe a video about Healthy Gamer. Depending on what happens after the first video, and maybe depending on what happens with the ethics decision, and I'll probably send the video to some journalists who are probably interested in this, and then see what happens. The next video would be about Healthy Gamer.
Do the thing. All right. Go follow and like every video at that link. You know you want to. Don't even bother making me famous. Make her famous.
And then I've been filming myself watching these Recful sessions and just like screaming at the camera. That would be the one that probably you're the most concerned about. The raw emotion video. And that would probably be the last of me just like probably at my most like unhinged on camera so far.
This is going to be like an aside. It's just more, I guess it's more of like a check-in. Do you still feel like I am engaging with you in like good faith and being like honest in what I'm saying?
You're trying to.
Okay. Meaning like
yes. The good
more
faith
yes
you're
than
trying.
no? Right.
Yes, I think that you are being careful and probably have to be careful in a way that prevents you from fully. Well, also we're like on stream and you are a counselor. So I think there's some things preventing you from fully digging in, but I don't think you are being. I don't think you're being dishonest at all. I think you're being a little cautious, and my anti-cautious kind of approach to conversations is somewhat clashing with that. But I don't know that there's anything we can do about it. But as far as intentionality, yes, I think you're being good faith. I just think you have to be a little more careful than I do in this conversation, and we should just admit that.
Okay, so you don't feel like I'm bullshitting you or like actively lying? Or
No,
like
no,
anything
no,
like
no,
that?
no, not at all.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to check and make sure. Because to be honest, like, if you felt like I was engaging in like bad faith, like in my mind, I'm like, I don't know where we go now because there's no way to like rebuild that kind of trust. So that's good to hear. So hearing kind of about like what your plan is, where to take this.
Yeah, that's kind of like the vague outline, but you know, I don't know what's going to happen, so it could change. But those are the things that are coalescing. The 3 videos that are coalescing, and then after that, I'm in touch with I think 5 Healthy Gamer coaches now. So like, that's like 10% of his coaches. So like, the number of people who are reaching out to me saying like, and then there's people who like gone to sessions there or who went on stream with him and felt weird about it, sending me like documents and contracts and shit and all this crap I have to like look through to figure out like what I think of it. And then so I don't know what's gonna come up, but like, yeah, if I end up with like half the coaches saying like I want to talk to you about this, like probably doing a Healthy Gamer video would make sense. And then
do they want to talk to you about you like to like whistleblow, or they just want to like try to explain their workplace
I think it's
to you?
both. I honestly think that they are more just like, I want to just figure out what's going on.
Right. And so I guess
I think they view me as wanting to just figure out what's going on. I don't think they think I'm just doing a takedown. I think it's like I think they actually believe that I am trying to figure this out. And I think part of the reason they believe that is that I am very forthright about how angry I am. I feel like that in a way makes me more credible because it doesn't seem like I have an agenda. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can. And you're saying that that transparency is also dangerous because it can fuel people's anger and have them take it in a way I don't want. But like,
be mindful about it. It's not being about being
no,
dishonest
I don't think I
at
will
all.
be. I don't think I want to be mindful about it.
I think once you're the head of a movement, you have duty of care. Because you already said you don't want this to end in like an absolute like situations where like wife, family, kids are being harassed, healthy gamer coaches
No.
are being harassed. Like you
No.
don't want that. And I believe you. And so I think if you
I
are
don't.
heading up a major movement and like a public campaign against somebody, you have duty of care because you're leading it. And then here's the thing, like I think you have this anger.
I just don't think admitting that I'm angry is I think that's actually more responsible. I don't think it's irresponsible.
So the anger isn't the issue. My concern is like sometimes the language, right? Like you tend to use like very strong language and stuff like that, which is fine by itself. But once you're at the head of an entire movement, my concern is that like you have this authentic feeling, you have a deeply complex view. Here's the thing, like I could be fucking wrong about everything, and you've just like sniffed up to some nefarious shit that's going on that nobody fucking predicts. Like that shit happens. So I'm not saying like
Yes,
you're
that's what's
100% wrong. I'm saying
that's just absolutely what's happening.
I'm saying maybe. I'm definitely not saying for sure. Like I'm not fully agreeing with you, but it could be, right? I'm open to that possibility happening.
Okay.
What I'm saying is you've already reported him to the correct authorities as far as his medical licensure goes, right? Which is within I think the factual video that you're planning to make is an excellent idea around ethics around that, because I think
the thing we're talking about is it irresponsible to express anger?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Then tell me what you think is irresponsible.
You got to let me finish.
No, because I already know. You already said all this.
Yes, I'm restating things because I feel like you're missing the most important point. If they hijack your righteous anger, they could turn it into malicious anger that they have not earned, and they will use it for things that could be really dangerous.
Yes,
that's
I already
my
know
concern.
that, and I don't want that. My question to you is, how do you know that disclosing my own personal like psychological roots and problems and unhingedness is going to add fuel to the fire of whatever mob forms rather than subtracting from it? Maybe
Why
it's
would
better
your anger subtract?
because people will see it as like, this is very personal for Mr. Girl. It's not something I should be angry about. He's not angry because it's like obvious we should all be angry.
I don't know if people think like that, because you
I
have to
don't
remember that
I don't
a
know
lot of the
either.
people are
I'm
parasocial
raising
with you. Right? A lot of your followers are going to be parasocial. So they,
yeah, but that
because of parasociality, we tend to want to protect the things that we love and care about, and we tend to take on their emotions because we care about them. We broadly agree with them, right? But not everyone is going to take the care that you are going to of being like, look, guys, I'm not interested in harassing, right?
I don't know. I think
that
I've done a pretty good job of messaging with my fans, even the most parasocial, that I don't feel the way I feel because I'm supposed to. My feelings aren't right. That's just how I feel, and and I'm not you, and it's not how you feel.
Yeah.
And I think in exchange for doing a good job of that I can responsibly express my emotions.
Right. I guess my issue is that not all of the people who are going to get behind the movement, who are going to feel the anger you have actually like essentially earned the anger that they might feel towards Dr. K, because they probably haven't even watched all of the videos, because it is 12 hours, right? It's a lot of time to invest to
I'm
do
gonna
like
invite
the
you to my Discord.
deep dive research.
You're not in my Discord, are you?
I don't think so.
Would you like to join it?
Sure.
Okay. Before everybody starts spamming fuck Dr. K or whatever the fuck they're about to start doing, I want you to join and look around.
Hey, I can hook you up with the invite real quick if you want.
General.
Done.
Video discussion, suggestions, and research.
Yeah. And just to be clear, I'm not necessarily talking about your followers and viewers right now. I'm talking about the people who join angry, kind of like witch hunt mobs that follow after. those are the ones I'm mostly concerned about, because particularly, like, I'm not saying your fans are freaks who are just like, and they want to destroy. Like, I don't need to go through, like, I can join your thing. I'm not trying to vet all your fans, especially when you're a small-time content creator. I find that a lot of times the people who follow you are going to be a lot more engaged. Like, I've been really, really impressed with even the people on my channel and stuff, because they really engage with content, because I tend to, I'm super fucking long-winded. I don't have a name behind me, and so the only reason people are going to follow me or you to some extent is because of something, right? Something probably a little bit more thoughtful. But if this moves towards more of like a movement and your name becomes like just kind of a name, right? Those are the people that now get involved. Those are the ones. I'm not saying that you're fans right now, right? I'm not saying that like right now you have a group of troublemakers who are trying to harass people and go after kids. Like, I don't think that that's the case at all, right? I wouldn't say that about any fan base. I'm not even talking about
I don't think
fan
as an
base
I don't think I
followers
can do what
necessarily.
you're asking as like an artist.
Right. I guess my issue is like there's movements, and then they descend into something else, and that's where
still
things
think
like
you're thinking
felons
this, like,
go to riots more often than protesters go to riots.
Yeah,
and they don't care about the movement at all, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just think
that's what I'm concerned about.
Your ends justify the means thinking again just is. I think I just don't think that way.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if you're like going to take on like the like mantle of like leading something like this, there has to be a certain level of duty of care, because I think you agree that you
I know
wouldn't
what
want
you
to see
think.
this
I'm saying I don't
ending
agree with you.
Yeah, but do you? I guess
I
do
don't
you
agree
want?
with you.
I think it's like you're an artist, you're avant-garde, and that's fine. But you're now becoming a social advocate. You're moving into a new sphere.
I don't know.
I think you are. You're making an educational video.
Yeah.
Right? You're advocating for certain ethics around therapy. Like, you're definitely moving into more
artists,
of an
artists
advocacy
do that all the
education
time. Artists
space.
do advocacy all the time.
You want to convince everyone that Dr. K is bad.
I want them to see why I think he's bad.
Do you want them to believe you?
No.
What do you mean?
I want them to believe that I think it.
I think you do, because if they don't believe you, why would you, like, you want his license to be stripped? Correct? So you want the ethics board to believe you. The licensure board.
I want the ethics board to uphold the rules. I don't want them to believe me. I don't want them to just do what they're fucking supposed to do.
Right.
I believe it's your thing. It's like backwards. I believe them. I was taught these rules and I believe them. They're the one making the rules.
But that's like your interpretation of the rules.
I don't think so. I think you're just wrong.
I think that fundamentally that's what everything is to some extent. Even the way when I'm analyzing this, it's fundamentally my interpretation of the rules. That's why these boards exist, is to be like, let's get as smart and elected people as possible.
I get what you're saying. I don't think the ends justify the means in general. And not in this case either.
My concern is that mobs will want to punish Dr. K.
That's the
ethics
ends.
boards are going to respond to Dr. K.
And those are the ends. And so you want to justify the means with the ends. I get what you're saying. I think the process that you are approaching, the way you're approaching this, I think is like inherently almost immoral. Like I don't think it's right to conceal my emotions or motivations, nor to suppress like artistic videos or emotional videos I want to make because I'm afraid of people misunderstanding them. I think that I should talk more.
Because you're an artist, right? And I think that that's a valid claim for an artist. Like, genuinely, the problem is that the moment you're going into education, you're asking, like, you're advocating.
Even an educator, I think everybody should communicate this way. I don't.
She's doing it again. Like, again, I have respect for her thus far. But she keeps talking past his point. She's still advocating for her own position. And he's saying, I understand your position. I disagree. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I want to do that. That's not the way I see it. And then she goes back and tries to do the same thing again, even though the first thing that came out of his mouth was, I understand what you're saying. There was no confusion. as to what you're saying. There's no need to say it again. I already understood it the first time. I'm just saying I disagree with it. So I understand where he is. And now, personally, for me, I try to keep my emotions in check on my stream and on the internet all the time. Now, granted, I do the same thing in person most of the time, so it's easy. But I can also understand someone who is more of the sort of, I don't want to say like method artist, but he conveys his emotions on purpose in his content. That's his art, right? My emotion, my frustration, my sentiments. That's a part of his art. And what he's saying is, I don't think I actually want to remove the strength of my emotional response to anything in my content, in my art. Because that strength of emotional response is a part of my art. I also understand where she's coming from, because she is 100% right that if you convey a bunch of hate and vitriol and anger, you broadcast that to an audience, you're going to impact that audience more in your direction, generally speaking. His defense that, like, in this context, how do you know that my anger won't reduce the overall anger, I think is without merit. I understand why he would try and make that argument because he's defending his own position. I don't think that's a good argument. This is one of those places where I think he is wrong, technically. Because generally speaking, the people that are watching your content are going to be fans of you, and they're more likely to align with you, and they're more likely to respond in the same manner they watched or witnessed you respond in. So I think the odds are, especially given the subject matter here, I think the odds are incredibly slim, if not zero, that the strength of his anger would result in less overall anger than there otherwise would have been. I'm not persuaded by that argument at all. So look at, like, all right, look at Trump, okay? Perfect, current times, uber topical, real world example. Oh, rip. Well, I guess that makes sense. I didn't know there was an age restriction on it, so that's too bad. But Trump is a real world, perfect example of why you have to be careful, not just what you say, the subject matter, but how you say it, the strength of the reaction, right? So this is why, at the end of the day, it's really hard on this particular point to say either of them are wrong. They're both right and wrong at the same time in different ways. Welcome to the human experiment.
I mean, unless
But
you have...
you said you wanted to publicly destroy his career. If you do that publicly, that means people are going to get behind you, right? The reason why the public would destroy his career, the reason why that would be a thing is because people are going to get behind you and say, absolutely, this is happening. And ideally, in your case, the ethics board will also get behind you and say that this is happening, because that would add a lot of fuel to what you're claiming. But I think it's like, I don't really know what to do with the fact you're saying, like,
I don't want
people to believe that I believe what I'm saying, but I don't want them to believe what I'm saying, because it's like, then why are you like policing all of this?
There are two courts. There's the professional court and the public opinion court. And the worst outcome in this case would be, and I am talking about the outcomes now, but the outcome aligns with what I think is right anyway, is that he wins both. Oh no, sorry, that he wins. It's like if Trump gets indicted and convicted of a crime.
What? We living in a simulation?
And the public, all of his fans, are not convinced that he should be. That's bad.
Okay. What if there are bad outcomes to what you're doing? Say what you want happens. His medical license gets revoked.
However,
gamer
let me finish. That does not mean that he should not be indicted if he committed a crime.
Yo, do you see the freckles on her cheeks? Oh, man. So cute. All right, man, I'm going to head out. A friend of mine wants to play Sea of Thieves. All right. Sounds good. Have a good time, fam. Yeah, I probably will be on for like maybe 15 more minutes and I'll call it. It's been a super slow stream, but that's all right. Have a good time, fam.
Okay.
If Trump committed a crime, he should be indicted. But I think it is the duty of journalists and whoever else and artists to try to explain in the most convincing, compelling way they can why that's happening to his fans.
Okay.
And I feel like a duty to do that, to explain to Dr. K's fans, if I'm going to yank this like resource out of their lives, I feel obligated to also provide context to that, much the same way Dr. K, he's right about this. The professionals will not come explain it to you. Okay. And I'm fucking begging them to, and they won't. So I see why he started the company, because they just won't get on Twitch and talk.
Yeah.
I mean, you're here, but like, you know, the people who are like teaching and like psychology at universities won't come on Twitch. They won't do it.
No, they won't.
Because they're cowards.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel, so that's why I'm making the educational video. And so it's not that I want to destroy his reputation. It's I want to protect people from him and explain why I'm doing that. And
I believe that.
I want to be as emotionally transparent about it as possible.
I believe that. The problem is that I think like you're not being either like honest or where. So like my question would be of like where this could go and like what your duty is to it. So my question is,
I don't have a duty. I don't think I have a duty to control the behavior of my audience or of anybody else's audience.
So let's say let's like run out a situation and everything you want to have happens and nothing extra happens. There's no harassing anything. So it's kind of the ideal situation for you.
I fundamentally disagree. Okay, I feel like you keep asking me questions without
Well, you're not letting me finish that question.
But you're not reconciling that I don't think that way, and I think it is wrong to even ask.
Don't think what way?
That the ends justify the means.
Right. So
I am not strategizing.
So if something really bad happened as a result, like 4 of the clients that are seeing healthy gamer coaches end up dying by suicide, would you still feel like you had done something good and like you would be okay with the actions that you had taken? Particularly when somebody's voice like, hey, some of these things are valid, but I'm worried about other things. That would be okay with you. Let's
be clear. Are you asking me if it's okay with me if people commit suicide?
No one's saying that.
Would I feel horrible about it? Yes. Would I blame myself? Yes. Would that make me think that I don't do things that I think are wrong, particularly on my channel. Like when I have time to really think through what do I think is the right thing to do and the right way to approach this, I don't do things that I think are wrong. So if I do my best and something horrible happens, will that make me wish I could go in a time machine and like do something different? Like maybe, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to not do what I think is right.
Right. So, I think I guess an issue I'm having is it feels like you're blurring the line between artist and advocate, and I think that there are different levels of of
I don't
care
think
that
there's
are
a line. I guess I just don't agree that there is a line.
I
I
agree.
think there absolutely is a line.
And I
Social
think that
advocates
there-
work very different than artists.
No, they're not. See, no, they are not. Like, artists are sending a message the same way advocates are. The manner in which they send the message might be different. The reach might be different. Might. But they're doing the same thing. They're telling their perspective, their story to other people. The line is either incredibly blurry between those two, or it is non-existent, which is what Mr. Girl is saying here. I disagree that they are two fundamentally different things. Reason I say that is we have subscribed to a particular artist who was both an artist and an advocate through the exact same means. They advocated through their art, and their art was intended to advocate. Like, it's a cyclical thing. You can't really like extricate the two from one another.
I think there's a lot of overlap. Maybe it's all overlap.
Right.
I think there's political art and social art and artistic advocacy. Like, I just don't agree with you.
Yeah. I think it is wrong to let people hijack your anger and convert it into their own, and then use that anger that they have
Define let.
not earned for whatever means that they have. And I think you are setting up a situation, just like you said, like there's a recipe to like have some certain end. I am concerned that you're setting up a recipe for some certain end. And I get that you said like the ends don't justify the means, but I think you still have to be thoughtful of where things can go based on your actions.
I don't think you should be inauthentic or conceal or not speak because of that. I think if I were you, there are things I would not say because of my clients, for sure. And that is, and I said, like, I don't want to be a therapist because I can't, because of things I've said and done. But I don't feel that way about my audience. I feel that my duty to my audience is to say those things and not hold them in because I'm afraid of what will happen.
I guess because you're not concerned about the ends, right? You're concerned with like principle.
Oh, I'm very concerned. I'm just not making decisions based on that concern.
Yeah, I guess my concern is that because you're kind of taking like a deontological approach of saying like I'm cared about the principles and the policies, but I said, okay, well, what if the IRB, the like major head of these principles and policies, said you're incorrect? You basically said it would make me stop and think, but I'd probably continue anyways, because I feel like if right, you did the whole analogy of like I'm pretty sure I know that this is a water bottle, and so if the board says it's not, then I'm going to take on the board too.
Yeah.
Similarly, I think it is wrong to let people take your anger, your righteous anger, and use it for their own ends.
Define let.
I'll think about it, but I don't. I just don't see how I can. You're essentially saying that at some point I'll get too big to be honest, too big to be emotional, and I think that I don't think that's acceptable to me for a number of reasons. So I think that what needs to happen is that need to be more. I need more disclosure about my anger and where it's coming from, not less.
It's not about you being too big. Your impact, it's not about you being too big. Your art matters, right?
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be saying this to me if I only had like 200 subscribers on YouTube. I think it is about me becoming too big.
No, I think some art makes you an advocate.
Yeah, I guess I just don't agree. If we have to choose between authenticity and responsibility, I'm gonna go for authenticity at the crossroads.
I don't think that these things are mutually exclusive.
I think that you are doing some mental gymnastics.
How so?
I guess I just don't see anger as destructive as you do, or the expression of it. I think that you're explaining repression and like self-censorship in a way.
Okay. Would it maybe be helpful for us to talk a little bit about what we both agree on? Because I feel like this whole conversation has been like us kind of at odds with one another.
Whatever the fuck you want.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Go ahead.
Do you still feel like we are engaging in like
I've said a lot more about what I think than you have. You've mostly said what you don't think. So you want to go? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Sure.
You already know what I think. So I can't say what I agree with you on because I don't know. All I know is what I disagree with you on. I disagree with this like emotional shit that you're saying.
Okay. So where we're probably going to agree is areas where I think Dr. K has misstepped.
Okay.
I imagine.
Okay.
I think one of the most important ones. So there's a lot of ethic gray, and I think ethic grays matter for two reasons. First of all, if there are ethic grays that are going on in a situation that maybe is so say we do a whole bunch of data, and in this world we find out not only is Dr. K helping people, but he's helping people as much as possible, and the ethics go against that, we probably need to look at how we manage these ethics, right? To make potentially what Dr. K is doing actually rinse and repeatable in a safe way. If it's true that I'm assuming, giving him the greatest benefit of the doubt, that he's doing the best possible work, right?
I'll make it legal.
Yeah, basically making the ethics change, right? Because I think that there are absolutely times where ethics get behind technology, behind the world, and things need to change. So in that case, if we figure out Dr. K is doing not just good work, but immensely good work, we should probably rinse and repeat that, because mental health is obviously a major issue that needs to be addressed. And most experts would tell you, I can't think of a single expert that would disagree that we are not adequately addressing mental health in our nations.
100% disagree. Continue.
I would say Dr. K violated, so in the American Psychiatric Ethics, I kind of went through, there's one of them about providing competent medical care. And the first stanza of that talks about how basically that they need to ensure that the boundaries of the doctor-patient relationship are really clear. Right?
Yeah.
We talked about this.
That's like the first paragraph.
Yeah, it's the first one. I agree that he violated this to some extent. I just don't know to what extent, whether it's like malpractice or whether it's this was bad, here's a consequence for you, because he should have defined the relationship.
No. Okay. Be clear here. There's a binary. Yes or no? Was it violated? The answer is yes. It's pretty easy to read the rule, and it's pretty easy to pair up the fact that we have on camera with that rule. The answer is just yes. Then, once we've established that, the question becomes, how egregious of a violation of the rules or that particular rule was it? The only reason we ask that question is to determine the severity of the punishment. That's it. So, with respect to any given instance, like a single one, it's super easy. Was there a violation? How obvious, how bad, how impactful of a violation was it? And that part shapes what should the punishment be. Now, when you pair or when you combine a series of violations, you can have either a bunch of tiny ones that add up to something that is overall really bad, such that there should be a bad consequence, or you could have some not so bad, some pretty bad that leads to a worse consequence, or you could have a bunch that are like, holy shit, these are all bad. There needs to be a really severe consequence here. Mr. Girl's assertion in the video, or actually it's not an assertion in the video, his assertions here, as evidenced by what we saw in the video, is that it was a whole string of like really bad things. These are not good things. Like, not being clear about the status of your relationship is incredibly fucking bad. Like, you should be honest about that. And you shouldn't play this, well, it's not therapy. That's bullshit. Like, anyone who went through not just undergrad college, but like went through the study and the process of becoming certified and deemed by a board competent to practice this thing, you can't actually argue that you didn't know. Or like, I didn't know this was a bad thing. I didn't think this was a bad thing. Bullshit. And then again, bullshit.
Episode 5, right? He defined it, so I would argue he did define it when he gives the disclaimer. And then it became abundantly clear, even within the first session, that the disclaimer was insufficient because Rexel kept calling it therapy and therapist. He talked to Pokimane about how, like, Dr. K is her favorite, her therapist and his therapist, right? So it's beyond clear that the lines were blurred and the client was basically, they made a verbal contract and then the client to some extent broke it, which I wouldn't put on the client. It's because I would say the practitioner needs to do more care. I don't think the DTR... Wait, you're
saying that Dr. K was Pokimane's therapist in 2019?
She claimed it.
In 2019? She claimed it.
I don't know the dates. I just remember... I didn't watch Pokimane at all.
That's in the first session?
I don't know anything about... Rexel claimed that Pokimane said this, so I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth.
Pokimane said that Dr. K was her therapist 3 days ago.
Rexel also talked to Pokimane in one of the videos where he was talking with Dr. K and
said
that Pokimane had said that.
I'm establishing that it's possible that he's been her private psychiatrist for 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah, it's a longer standing relationship than you first assumed. Is that kind of what you're meaning? Like, you didn't know that? And I'm giving you
I don't think she lives in Massachusetts.
Right. Okay. So overall, I would say it is abundantly clear to me that this is not therapy disclaimer is insufficient. And I would say the fact that, like, he maintained just using that as his simple disclaimer it wasn't enough. It obviously wasn't, because it wasn't just Reckful, right? Where you could say like, because you could try to be like, well, yeah, Reckful didn't understand it, but like Reckful was really mentally unwell. It's like, well, no, lots of people didn't understand it. And the reality is most people who watch it, they're like, yeah, it's not therapy, but it's therapy, right? That's the whole issue. And so absolutely the DTR needs to be more clear. And if he's genuinely saying that he's not doing therapy, he needs to make it more clear how he is not doing therapy. I don't think he's engaging in psychiatry, but he is doing therapy.
You agree? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it is clearly not therapy, and 10 being it clearly is therapy, where do you think that Reckful and the audiences, if you think they're at about the same place, where do you think that their understanding of what the relationship is at?
10 is very much so. It's
10
therapy.
Is 10 is therapy and 1 is not therapy.
I'd say 8.
Okay, so you think that they are 80% of the way to a therapy relationship?
No, 80% of the way to the client believing that it's a therapeutic relationship, that it's a therapist-client relationship.
The client and everybody else watching.
Sure. I mean, I mostly mean like I can't base it on just
that's tougher.
But yes.
Well, just if you
sure. Let's just lump them. Sure. Yes.
Okay, and he's claiming that it's a 1.
I don't know if he's claiming it's a 1.
Well, he said it's not therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you ask Dr. K, what on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is this therapy? What do you think he would say?
I feel like he'd say it's a 3. That would be my guess. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he knows that it kind of is, but he thinks the biggest risk is liability, and he's the one taking on the liability risk. So he's okay with that.
And ethics-wise, it needs to be a 1 or a 10.
Once the ethics boards get involved, they will decide a 1 or a 10. Yes, ultimately.
And it's supposed to be a 1 or a 10. To follow the rule, it needs to be a 1 or a 10. That's the rule.
What do you mean? I think I'm getting lost in what you mean. Like, can you just explain that?
The client needs to know whether they're your client or not. Clearly, there can be no question if they are your client or they're your friend. There cannot be any question. For you to follow the rule, you need to. It's fine if you're a therapist and a client thinks you're their friend, but you're coming to therapy with them. That's fine. The problem is if you're not their therapist and they think you are, then you kind of have to withdraw yourself from the situation.
I think to a certain extent, for example, like if you have a client who's maybe like actually in an acute psychotic episode, and no matter
I'm
what you
talking
do
about
to explain
people who aren't your clients thinking that you are.
Right, but I think because of these
can you keep talking to them about their feelings?
I think because of these ambiguous situations that can
I'm
arise,
asking
like
you
issues
a specific question.
I know, and I'm trying to answer it if you let me.
I don't want to let you because I want you to answer my question instead of the new one that you're making up. If a non-client thinks that you are their therapist, can you keep asking them about their childhood trauma?
No, you need to DTR.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you can redefine it, renegotiate.
So with regard to this, we're supposed to be going through this quickly. So I just want to lay this out.
Why are we going through this quickly?
Because I think this is a binary thing. I don't think it.
Well, I'm going to call it here.